American Samoans file lawsuit seeking full U.S. citizenship. Honolulu, Hawaii. John Fitzsimonu works for a lab company in Utah. He has paid U.S. taxes and been subject to American laws his whole life. The 53-year-old father and husband isn't considered a U.S. citizen by the federal government, though. That's because he was born in American Samoa, a U.S. territory, and the only place in the country without an automatic claim to citizenship. Now, he's suing to be recognized as an American. Fitzsimonu is the lead plaintiff in a lawsuit filed March 27th on behalf of American Samoans in Utah. They want to be treated as U.S. citizens under the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. The 14th Amendment defines who qualifies as an American citizen and what their rights are. They pay taxes to the U.S. government but can't vote. American Samoa, a U.S. territory since 1900, is a cluster of islands 2,600 miles southwest of Hawaii, stuck in the never-ending legal loophole. People born in the territory aren't labeled U.S. nationals. Being a national is not the same thing as being a citizen. As nationals, they cannot vote, run for office, officially help family members immigrate to the U.S., apply for certain government jobs, or serve on a jury, despite paying taxes to the U.S. government. They're even issued special U.S. passports that say this bearer is a United States national and not a United States citizen. Much like states in the U.S., the territories also have their own governments and elected their own governors. Unlike states, the territories do not have a vote in Congress. They each send a delegate to the House who passes all powers of a representative besides voting rights, like the ability to debate legislation or sit on a committee. The territories also send delegates to political conventions, such as those to nominate presidential candidates. However, the territories have no electoral votes in the presidential election. It feels like a slap in the face. With coworkers, it's kind of like an office joke, Fitzsimonu said. Hey, John is not a citizen, he's an alien. I know they're joking, but it still hurts, he said. It feels like a slap in your face that you're born on U.S. soil, but you're not recognized as a U.S. citizen. He's been rejected for jobs that list U.S. citizenship as a requirement. Prospective employers need me to show them proof that I am a U.S. citizen, which I am not. Around elections, I sit quietly at my cubicle and don't say a word, because I know I can't vote, he said. It's kind of embarrassing. Rosavita Tooley is also part of the lawsuit. She has had to obtain special permits and pay fees that wouldn't apply to U.S. citizens when visiting her aging grandparents outside American Samoa, according to court documents. The process can be lengthy and costly. Although American Samoans can pursue naturalized citizenship, the lawsuit says it is a lengthy, costly, and burdensome process. The cost to apply is $725. Legal fees pile up if applicants hire a lawyer to help navigate the process. For Fitzsimonu, issues with money have prevented him from going that route. Neil Ware is a lawyer leading the lawsuit. He's the president of Equally American, a nonprofit group that fights for equal rights for people living in U.S. territories, such as American Samoa, Guam, and Puerto Rico. If someone has a birth certificate showing they were born on U.S. soil, they shouldn't have to jump through any more hoops to be recognized as a U.S. citizen, Weir said. Those born in the territory, however, can claim citizenship at birth if one of their parents is a U.S. citizen. The same generally holds true for children born abroad to Americans. Previous case stalled in court. This is Weir's second attempt on the issue. A previous case he led stalled in 2016. In that case, the Supreme Court declined to reconsider a ruling from a lower court in Washington, D.C. The lower court said the constitutional guarantee of citizenship by being born in the U.S. didn't apply to American Samoa. In its ruling, the lower court referred back to controversial colonial-era decisions from the early 20th century about the U.S. after the U.S. acquired a large number of territories in the Spanish-American War. In these cases, the Supreme Court distinguished between incorporated and unincorporated territories. The former, such as Arizona and New Mexico, were mostly settled by white people. They were thought destined to be a permanent part of the U.S. The latter, such as American Samoa, were not considered candidates for statehood. Their inhabitants were described as alien races and uncivilized, and thus weren't granted full constitutional rights. People in other territories can claim citizenship. Over the years, Congress has decided on a per-territory basis to allow those born in Puerto Rico, Guam, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands to claim citizenship by birth. American Samoa's population of about 55,000, however, has continued to be overlooked. This is the holding pattern we've been in now for over a century, said Sam Ehrman, an expert in constitutional law and a professor at the University of Southern California. Still, Ehrman and many legal scholars agree that American Samoas are clearly citizens under the 14th Amendment. I believe that I should be a U.S. citizen. Utah has a major Samoan population. If the case there is decided favorably, that would create a conflicting ruling to what was previously decided in another court, which could add pressure to the Supreme Court to review it. Until then, Fiti Simanu is standing firm. People will say what they want to say, and I'm going to believe in what I want to believe, and I believe that I should be a U.S. citizen, he said.